Hey everyone, I'm Jessica here with another solo review and fantastic hairstyle again. I don't know, it's short term, it's not forever. But today I am talking about habitats. A really fun little tile laying game with a twist, and you are creating a habitat of different animals typically and some other features that you'll see out there. So tiles are going to look something like this. Here's one that just has some flowers on it, but you'll also find some fun ones such as the rat. And there's other ones. There's a duck. There's tons of these, and I don't know if this is in every edition. I think it is, but I'm not positive. There's a nice handy bag to keep all the tiles in, but just to give you an idea, if we look inside there, it is pretty full. It's a large bag, and there's a lot of tiles. And some of them, again, are really cute. There's a little ground squirrel, and you've got something like a dwarf crocodile, and I know, one more, just one more. I like animals. A giraffe. And we'll use that for a second. So as you're going to be actually moving in a market in order to choose a tile that you're going to pick up. And the way you do that, this is really cool. There are little, I don't know if we can call these jeeples. I think that's a term that we've used, but there's a bunch of different player colors that are included here. And you'll have your solo mode is basically this is all you need to know for doing solo. You're doing a setup. You can see where your Jeep is going to be starting in this market that you're going to set up with a 4x3 grid basically, and you're playing 25 turns. And there's some scoring tiers on the back of this tile to see how well you did at the end. And the way you'll track that, there's a nice little feature here, and then there is this, so you're just kind of going to be moving that around to track 25 turns. I sometimes lose track when I go to 10 and then have to remember, am I at 11? Am I at 10? It's fine. Not a big deal. So you'll have those tiles around your Jeep, and the way that it's facing makes a difference. So you don't just throw it into a space and then you have all those. It's sort of like, I'm facing in this direction, so which one of these can I actually pick? It basically means you can't pick the one behind you or turn around, but it is interesting because you do have those edges to that market area, so you are actually plotting your course and figuring out which one you want to pick up next and place into your area. This is where all your tiles are going to go. You will start with a starting tile that is basically just going to match whichever Jeep that you picked up. This is your entrance, and the nice part about this is, if it's, I don't know if it's easy to see or not, but the starting tile is a little bit different from the shape of a normal tile, so it's easy to pull those out and not accidentally mix them in. So when you pick up a tile, though, what you're trying to get is you're trying to meet the requirements on there that are on the bottom. And if you meet those requirements, you'll gain 4 points at the end of the game. And what does that mean? That means this giraffe needs to be adjacent to these types of terrain. So you need to make sure that you kind of have synergies going on in what you're placing, and also know that not everything is going to score points. I've had games where I've come really, really close and almost met all of the animal requirements. Sometimes, though, there's other tiles that you'll find that can help with adding on to the size of an adjacent habitat. This one will gain you points for having a tile where those dots are, if you will. But then this means that nothing can be placed underneath there. So it kind of creates a barrier or a wall that you have to keep in mind. There's other tiles like this one, a camera. Every grassland habitat in your preserve is going to be worth 1 point at the end of the game, which is cool. And that's all you're doing really, is planning which tiles to take as you look at how your Jeep is facing and how it's moving through the market, and then meeting those requirements with the tiles you pick up, but also kind of keeping in mind, does this actually match? Like, do I have a large water area, so I'm picking up a lot of water animals, and that might work out. And the other nice thing that's included, so let's say with this porcupine, let's say that I met those requirements. There are these nice checkmark tokens, so I'll grab one just to show you what I do, but just so I remember that it is actually completed. I usually have like a specific spot where I will put the check token on my tiles so I know at game end which ones to score and which ones to sort of gloss over. I'll also sometimes put that on tiles that have a special scoring condition or that do something, again, just as a nice little visual reminder for scoring. It's not complex though. This is a quick sort of game, probably takes around 10 to 20 minutes most of the time. You can kind of sit back and relax though, because there's a lot of great animal tiles in here. I do remember that when I picked this up, there were also, I think, these really nice wooden animal meeples or Animeeples that were available with it that are supposed to match. So like, for instance, there is just a rat that you could place on here. And I think the idea there is that you place that once you actually complete the tile. However, being able to sort through those and find them was a lot more of a hassle for me. So I just use, again, these little checkmark tokens. Those work better. And I still have those other wooden animal meeples. And I know I'm going to use them with something, either an RPG or find another game to use them with. They're really nice. They're nice quality and everything. Just the process of trying to identify, for instance, you know, if I don't know, I mean, a water snake is pretty obvious, but there's a couple of different snakes, so figuring out which one is which can be a little tricky, but there's a lot of just really nice animals, and you know, you get dragonflies, so it's not just your typical big mammals. You'll find other things in here too, which makes it very diverse and just kind of a fun experience of creating this park area and filling it up with all types of animals and plants and just having some fun making that, and dare I say it, making vroom vroom noises while you drive your Jeep through the market. So that again is Habitats, which I am really enjoying solo. Just fantastic. As always, thanks so much for watching. Can I even speak today? Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you get some great solo games to your table soon. Bye!